Three, two, one. We are.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
Well, here we go. It's the man that promises you nothing and delivers. It's the veritable man motor mouth. It's Road Woods who feels the need to call himself Rob Vega. It somehow makes him feel important. Anyway, do have a listen and try not to throw up.
I feel like a beatnik. Man, it's just, I love that music. It's just so cool. That's just, I just want to we could just play that all day on our channel that people would listen to.
2OF Entertainment. Yes. Yes, with the
Just
motor man of himself. Yes, hello, everybody. Maybe I can do the whole show talking like this.
Like the Queen. How exciting. So.
Oh, no. There's not the Queen. This is something else. I don't know what this is.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's not the Queen. I'm not doing the Queen. The Queen is...
Wow.
Who's that?
So, well, welcome everybody. I'll get a bit of promo in for next week, for last week.
Actually,
if you missed
Queen's a lot more
week,
silent than that. Just want to say, she doesn't say much right now at all. Yeah.
If you missed last week's serious ranting and some very serious conversations about a particular substance which can be spoken at your leisure, for leisure, whatever, so we don't get banned this week. Look at last week's show for Vaguely News, and you can
Dave?
Mr. Vega ranting.
Dave,
there you go. Yes,
it was the most hideous substance known to man.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we seem to have triggered somebody. So, okay, here we go. As always, when you guys get hold of me, I always go, what the hell am I going to talk about? And so it all just pops out. We literally just squeeze the zip topic and boom, see what comes out. Yeah,
that is true.
You're the Dr. Popper of Vaguely News, then.
Wow, yes, I am. Unfortunately, a lot of the topics that I do on my actual Vaguely News cast, which comes up every day on my radio show.
Don't forget to plug your radio show, mate. Don't forget to plug your radio show. Don't forget to plug your radio show. Yeah.
Well, yes, if you don't talk over me, then I can plug it. Yes.
Oh.
Okay. Yes.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
As I'm plugging, he's talking. Not really a plug then, is it? It's more like a...
What did he say? Did he say something? I don't know.
No, really, it's good to be here.
Is it? I don't feel like it's good to be
here. There we go again.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a long show. Anyway,
it must be awful to watch a movie with. Hang on, I know what's going to happen next. Why did he come out of the cave? Oh, why is he wearing that? Oh, I know who killed the guy. God.
I love it when you verbally spank me. That's what it is.
He's also a platinum member at Hilda's House of Pain, so he likes to be spanked physically as well. So plug your radio show so all your fans can find you somewhere, and then we'll just go on whatever rant we have today.
Yeah, it's okay. I work on a station called Hot 1027, and you add a CO and a ZA to that. Well, sorry, a ZA, and you'll find our station. And I'm Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the mornings. Yeah, that's me. There you go. Time zone. 6 hours ahead of Eastern. There you go. There you go. Was that good enough? Was that a plug? My God, Dave didn't say anything. I got a plug. I got a plug out. I got the plug in.
We muted his mic.
This is great. Dave, are you there? Hello, Dave.
No, I'm enjoying the bliss of being verbally. I'm enjoying the bliss of being verbally spanked by you, Mr. Bailey.
Hey, okay.
That's the only reason why I come on this show, to be spanked.
To get spanked. Okay. I think you're on the wrong show.
Yeah, we have a bondage show. So we should go on that show.
You have a bondage show. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Great.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a hands-on thing, is it? Okay.
It's we do live demos, and David volunteers for everything. He loves the nipple clamps.
I was going to do it again this week, but I was a bit tied up. But there you go.
But I'm here on Thursday.
Oh my God. There we go. There we go. By the way, since we went down that road,
Yes.
good advice: never fall in love with a tennis player because love means nothing to them. How many of these do you want to do?
Got all day.
Means nothing to
We
them.
got a whole show, man. You can
I
ramp
got
it.
hundreds of these, and we're not going to do that
Okay.
because it's crap.
So here's what we were talking about before we got on air. We were talking
Yes.
about last week's show, which we can't really discuss, but we were discussing that it got age restricted because the topic was considered, I guess, taboo because it dealt
Yeah,
with.
by whom?
But by YouTube. By YouTube.
Yeah, but where is YouTube based?
United States.
Ah, so here we go. The bastion of world liberty gets to
Yes.
decide what people can't talk about. Seems fair.
No, I think what they do, and I'm not defending YouTube. I'm just saying what I think they did is they're like, this is I have to listen. They sent me a check. What I think they do is they say, if someone's under the age, if you will, of 18, we don't think this is appropriate. So that's why they make it age restricted. That's it. Other
I
than
wish
that,
people need to grow up. There are 5-year-olds on YouTube. They know more about stuff than 50-year-olds.
That's true. But we got David.
The thing about online, I love it when people try to police online stuff.
Yes.
Here's a tip: you can't do it.
Right.
You can't do it. It is because the internet, and this I sort of know. You guys know this. The internet was created as a decentralized information system, so you cannot police it. That's the beauty and the evil of the internet. That's its power. So, good luck policing the internet.
Yeah, I think in defense of YouTube, they just kind of said, well, okay, this is probably not a subject which we want to be litigated against. So you have to confirm you're 18 plus before you can click through on it. So that slowed down the normal traction we get from our shows because because we're a bunch of kids, then most people find it entertaining.
So apparently, when you hit 18, then you figure out what morality is, and you know everything, do you?
Well,
the 18-year-old.
Have you seen some of the leaders of the world? They're above 18. Yep. Not going so well.
Oh my God! You want to talk about leaders of the world? Let's talk about this last week in Congress. Two congresswomen. Did you see that? The white Congress lady was making fun of a black Congress lady about her nails and her hair. I did. Marjorie, whatever her face, the one who sleeps with animals.
Cooper.
And made fun of this black lady in Congress, and she was like making fun of her nails and her hair. So when it was the black lady's turn to speak, she ripped into her. And then at that point, the guy who's the chair was like, this is not how we conduct ourselves. And I'm thinking, you know what? You started it. Let this lady, and this lady just tore her apart. And I'm like, there you go. But now
So who tore who apart? Just to be clear,
the black lady tore the white Congress lady. That the white Congress lady made fun of the black Congress lady. When the black Congress lady had time to speak, she tore the white Congress lady apart. It was the funniest video I've seen, but it also made me kind of be like, this is just so pathetic that we are that kind of a joke.
I would ask what she said about her hair and nails, but that would make you think I give a shit, and I don't.
There you go.
What does it matter? Again, I don't really need an answer to this. I mean, does it matter? I mean, what does it matter what her hair looks like? The only question I would ask is, was she professionally dressed? I assume she had clothes on. There we go.
Dressed.
So okay.
But here, listen, it's a Republican idiot speaking to a Democrat, and because they don't know how now to have civilized discord or a dialogue, they have to resort to the Trump way, which is we're going to make fun of you and we're going to bully you. And this lady, and I apologize for not knowing her name. I wish I did. I just remember seeing the video. This lady was taking none of it. She stuck up for herself, and I'm like, bravo to you, man. Bravo.
But that was nothing. I mean, did you see the clip about the Taiwanese parliament where they literally
they fight all the time.
I saw all the people climbing into each other, and I thought, okay. whatever.
They do that all the time, though. They've been doing that for the last 50 years. So that's like, who cares?
It looked like
Who banned? Do you know what happened in Taiwan? Who banned that video? We want to see it. That's what happened.
That's right.
They were upset because our video got banned.
That's why they were fighting. It's true. Yeah.
That's what happened. So I just want to apologize for that to the Taiwanese people. We didn't mean to start a fight in your country. Sorry about that. Take it up with YouTube or whatever. Nothing to do with us.
That's right.
We believe in freedom of information.
I think also because that particular gentleman in Iran fell out of the sky in the helicopter. I think he was devastated by guilt because he wasn't able to see last week's show.
Wow, you're really getting dark here, Dave. Wow,
the absolute weight of it, plummeted the helicopter to its inevitable.
This video is not going to be age restricted. It's going to get banned.
Yeah, I was just going to say, this is what we're doing for us.
And they will come after you with something, but I don't know. Yeah. Wow.
They're going to be like, we love your show, but could you remove that old guy?
Well, that's
the one who likes to get spanked. Yes.
The one who likes to get spanked, yes.
Verbally spanked by
verbally spanked.
That's my claim.
We've really gotten nowhere with this, haven't we? We've just gotten, this is a big circle of BS. It's fantastic.
Well, that's what you like. I'm giving you.
Well, I have this special snorkel I have to put on before the show starts. This sort of BS.
I think it's still on.
It's still on, my friend.
So I can swim around in the sea of BS.
Oh, this is Amy and a baby. It's crazy. Oh my God.
So what's your rant today? I feel like this is like a Bill Maher thing where like you have to have now a 10-minute rant on something.
We've not had a rant yet.
Mr.
I'm sorry, we'll be ranting. Oh, okay. We weren't ranting. Well, it began with the whole why was our video age restricted, and kind of went from there. And we planted the seed of that, and then I thought, well, who gets to decide that? Because the beauty of this form of communication, wherever you're watching or listening to this, is that it's unrestricted. That is what's great about it, and that's what's stupid about it. Because I'll give you an example. The thing about the internet is it's completely opened up. That's the way it was designed. There's not supposed to be a restriction, because my understanding is back in the day, in case one of the information data centers went down, that it could move around. You can't get rid of the internet. That is its strength, and it's also, I guess, whatever people think is bad. But it's not the kind of thing you want to police. Having said that, I see people are concerned. I've seen concerns recently about privacy and security online. And the problem with social media, with online stuff, is that probably most people have no idea how to use it, especially social media. They don't. And that's not a judgment. They just don't. Why would they? They're not IT people. They don't know about security. And this is where the problem comes in. So when people want to drive a car, they have to go to get a driver's license, train, take a test, and we usually take that quite seriously. But any idiot can climb on the internet and do all kinds of stupid stuff, and that's what's great, I guess, about it. But it's pretty dangerous. It's also exciting. But where do you stop? How are you going to stop it? And that was the issue I had when you told me they had restricted the viewing of the video. And I thought, well, first of all, it wasn't a big deal what we chatted about in most countries, but in some countries, they're like, we haven't dealt with that yet. So what about the countries like where I live, where we have dealt with that? We don't care. So the guys that control the companies and the internet, they haven't dealt with it yet. So they get to restrict that flow of information. I personally think that what we chatted about was fun. It's I'm not going to mention it because, as you said, this might get restricted as well. But what we chatted about, damn, we're going to get some plays for that one, big time. But it was great fun, and it was harmless, and I was learning. That was what was great about it. I mean, we discussed and I learned, and it was fantastic. Now, the internet, if used properly, can be a great tool, but you got to know that's the problem. We've discussed this already. How do you know what's real and what's not? That's actually what I wanted to talk about, truth. But that was the rant. So it concerns me when somebody restricts any form of information, as I'm sure a lot of people would be concerned about.
Again, Rob, I think the thing about it is, right, I think it's more of a litigation thing for YouTube.
Okay.
They don't want to.
There's nothing to litigate.
Well, maybe because somebody under the age of 18 listened to it and then has a serious drugs problem, and his lawyer says in court, "Hey, they watched this guy's on Vaguely News. They said it was cool. I thought I'd have a go at it, and here I am."
But also,
doing
That's
whatever.
not true.
but,
Anyway, moving on. Yeah.
but remember
So-
this though. But remember this for a second. YouTube is a platform that I'm not defending. I'm just making a statement. YouTube is a platform that we choose to be on.
Yes.
If we decided that we don't want to be on it anymore, and we want to start, Tool of Entertainment platform, and anything goes, and we have no restriction, that would be, we could do that. But we decide.
But there is an alternative one, is there not? Where a lot of
there's like 50 different platforms out there. I'm assuming they all have some sort of, especially because they're in the United States,
so there it is.
some sort of a
So
restriction.
we're playing by some rules. Fine, fair enough. That's something that good. That's been very educational for me. Thank you. I had no idea that we were towing here's the thing. You can be, it's like there was a book about raising boys, and they took these kids, was it boys, kids, doesn't matter, children, and they put them in a field, and they said, but they just stuck them in the middle of the field, and they said, guys, have fun. And they all it was a big field, and they all kind of stuck together, right? They stuck together, they weren't sure. Then somebody put a boundary around them, a big boundary, and then they played completely in that boundary, and they used more space. People like boundaries. They seem to like restrictions. I'm not a fan of that, but I do get it. It's not, I don't know. It always concerns me who's putting the boundary up. Do they have an agenda? What about them?
Yeah.
But I understand.
It's just a legal thing. Just a legal thing. And like I say, go back and listen. Go to the playlist, everyone. Look at last week's show, which kind of stuck with me all week, because I have to.
It was fun.
It was a good show. There was a lot of things discussed, a lot of serious stuff, a lot of funny stuff, and it surprised me that it didn't get as much traction as we normally do.
Yeah, well, we'll change it hopefully. But I will say,
we find
this is basically a promo for that show, just in case you're wondering. You're promoting that show.
Apparently, it's all by the way. Yeah,
this is what's going on here. So non-show promoting that show. No, seriously, okay. No, but it's I always wonder who sets the rules, and then it gets down to what is true and what is not. And my goodness, there's just so much. You guys have got an election there in the US. I know the UK have now announced one. We've got an election here.
Independence Day in the UK.
Oh, you can smell the BS. Wow, it's just the nonsense and the posturing.
Now, the election here is getting to the point now where everyone's just trying to determine who's more alive. Like, I was listening to people speak the other day, and some of the articles are like, Biden looks like a corpse, but he's still smart. And they're like, but Trump is vibrant. And I'm like, yeah, but Trump is like a Hitler. And to that point, I'll rant about something for a second. And I'm going to discuss this on the Lost Dollar Business Club. So somebody that's watched both will hear this. But the Trump organization had to pull down a video because it made reference to the Third Reich, calling for a unified Reich in their video on whatever his social network is. And somebody with an IQ point, maybe read a book, was like, we got to pull this down. They pulled it down like a couple minutes after it went up because it did not get a favorable reaction, that he was making the United States look like Nazi Germany in 1932, which is what we keep saying. So I was like, are you kidding me? You're literally putting up a video that says we have to have a unified Reich. If that's not foreshadowing and telling you exactly what his plan is, hello. And we saw how well it worked for the Germans in the 30s and 40s.
It worked really well. Worked really well for them and unified them until Mr. Hitler, the well-known typing error, until he decided.
Hitler from what? Circus or what? Yeah, Karen.
Yeah, until he decided the Hilfer hotels.
Until he decided to go and invade Czechoslovakia, Poland, and anywhere else you want to have
read
a
his
proper.
book Mein Kampf, and we've talked about this before. If you read Mein Kampf, it's an 800 and some odd page book, and the first 400 pages is brilliant. It talks about infrastructure, how you run a government, how you run a country, how you, if you will, unify it, how you make it grow, how you run an economy. And then you get to like, it's either 401 or 451, and you turn the page and it says, then you kill all the Jews. And that's where I say, I have
That's
a
why the 401k.
Yeah, and that's right. And that's why I'm like, there's kind of a problem with this book. And then really the last 50% of the book is how terrible the Jews are, how we have to eradicate them and whatever. And I'm like, this is where I have a problem with your book. If you would have stopped at 400, this is a great book. The rest of it, not so much.
I mean, the amount of stuff that the Germans were bringing to the world. I mean, I was reading some the other day, like, which I didn't know, that Fanta is a German
Yes,
product.
fantasy. Yes. Couldn't get Coke, couldn't get any of those.
Fanta.
Yeah.
Fanta. Yeah, because so that's the history of that.
What do you wait? What do you mean you couldn't get? You got Coca-Cola here in the 1920s and the 1910s when it was developed.
But there was an embargo.
Germany, they were embargoed.
Oh, they were embargoed because of the cocaine in it, probably.
No, they were embargoed from the West.
Oh,
couldn't get Coke. Yeah, and that's where Fanta came. Dave's right. That's true. I have heard that. Fanta was invented, well, by, I guess, the Nazis, because they wanted the Coke and they couldn't get the Coke, so they got the Fanta.
Yeah. I mean, and also,
Germans, those Germans, not the new ones, the old ones. Just to be clear.
We like the new ones. The new ones.
I love the new ones.
And
I mean,
the new ones actually took this.
Germany is amazing. I love Germany. Oh my goodness.
The new Germans kicked the Social and Communist Party that are talking Nazism. All the people in Germany, when they do it now, are telling them to go, themselves. They're like, nope, we don't go away. We don't do that. The Germans are smarter than we are, which is,
there are some serious
I mean that in the
issues,
nicest sense.
Well, I've got
a lot of them,
German Jew blood in me, so I don't know what that means.
A lot of these politicians are being attacked. They're first of all verbally attacked and also physically attacked. Some of them got knifed, another guy got seriously hospitalized because he was talking down about the right wing Germans. And he got this guy on trial now. The one he was trying to do the coup d'état, the Count guy. That'll be another couple of years for them. Did you not hear
what
about
country?
That?
Germany.
In Germany, yeah.
Germany.
Oh, okay.
The guy's he's on trial at the moment. There's a whole group of them. And they were going to take over and put in a military /
Look, Dave, here's the thing about guys like that, and this isn't peculiar to Germany. You get idiots everywhere. We got plenty of them here, and I'm sure, as we've already discussed, there's plenty in the US, there's plenty in the UK, there's plenty of them. The only thing is, does it ever reach a point where they're in the majority? And one hopes not. But
Here.
Really, you think they're
here we have the idiots running now.
Yeah, and the whole of Europe is turning right. It's not, it's certainly right of center. Whether or not it'll go extreme right, who knows? But I mean, even Le Pen seems to have a good chance.
On that note, Dave, we might have mentioned this several podcasts ago, and I was going on, and I heard this somewhere, and there was a commentator who said it's very dangerous to shut down speech. Getting back to the whole thing where you control speech, particularly where you start telling people what they should call others, what they can and can't say. Speech should never be as repulsive as it is. When people talk, you'd rather have them talk than fight and shoot.
Right.
And if they're saying daft things, look, when they're encouraging violence, that's another story. When they say pick up a gun and do X, Y, and Z, no, none of that stuff. But if they're just expressing, I don't know, ignorant, stupid points of view in our opinion, well, great. Because if you shut that down, what happens is they do become more conservative and they do become more right. Because they, strangely, unified right. Do you notice how that rhymes? Anyway, sorry, it just occurred to me. You don't want to shut the speech down because then people do become tribal. They do become protective and territorial. They do feel like their privacy or their liberty isn't being invaded. And whereas they may not necessarily be right or whatever, they a lot of right-wing media, a lot of right-wing stuff you see, they're all about protecting free speech. It doesn't matter whether it's true or not. I saw something the other day which says no one does outrage like the right. Look, the left's not bad either, but this is what's attractive. Having said that, I'm not putting out any point of view. I'm saying why people are why are they going into that camp? Because they feel that camp is listening. And it goes back to what we said earlier. People say, why are there so many Trump supporters? Well, it's not so much Trump as what he allows them to be. They feel, as we've said, like they're being listened to. And people want to be listened to. They want to know their leaders are listening to them. And I've got to tell you, as an outsider watching American media, for instance, and when I was there, it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. The perception is that someone like Trump is just listening to the ordinary man more. I'm not saying that's true. I'm not saying it's right, excuse the pun, but that is his strength. It looks like he's listening to people, like he's one of the gang, and he's got that outrage going. And it tracks well with people who feel under threat. That's why.
Well, I think that rhetoric of it's the radical left, the radical left, the radical left. That rhetoric is slowly drifting into Europe, because it was always, if you had a particularly, let's say, challenging point of view, then you are on the right. It's always the right. Yeah. Watch out for the right. But if you look at the recent riots that they had here in Holland, where they smashed up all the universities for millions and millions of euros worth of, they just trashed the place. It wasn't the radical right doing it. No. It was the radical left. Yeah. And but so in many respects, the things that Trump is shouting about, watch out for the left, is something which has not really sort of had any traction in Europe. But now people are saying, well, you know what? Well, maybe this whole right thing is a little bit more stable. Maybe it is the lefties. Maybe it is the communists and the socialists, like it was before.
Well, let me just say this then about all of this, right? If you read history, we go back to like 1910 to 1932, 35. If you look at the globe today and what's going on, and you look at what happened then, we are following that same pattern. Poland's following that pattern. Everyone, if you look at the countries, Poland, Ukraine, Russia, go through every country except Canada, because 6 people in a moose doesn't mean anything. But I'm kidding. There's 7 people, I'm sure, but they like their moose. But if you look at the globe and you look at 100 years ago and you look now, we are falling in that literally the same pattern, a little different, but the same pattern. You hear the same rhetoric from leaders that you heard then. You hear the same rhetoric, right? And it's right, but it's worse now because you have the internet and you have TV. Back then, it was sort of, you had to read it in a newspaper, whatever. Now it's 24/7. You even have their own social truth networks. So you're hearing the same crap.
No, but that's the same.
People just don't. It is the same. It's just with a different wrapper.
You're talking about social media. I mean, the Germans, the Nazis in particular, dominated cinema. And everybody could have a free radio, and it only had a certain amount of stations on it, and all those stations were all Nazi stations.
Right.
So,
I'm just saying though, today it's the same rhetoric on a broader scale, and I think that people that have not read history or looked at it don't realize that we're going in the same path.
We're the same people. We've just got different toys. That's what's going on.
Yes, and now the toys are worse.
It's the same thing. We haven't changed. We're just as dumb as we ever were, and we've just got. The problem is, look, I don't know this because I wasn't around in 1910, but we've got an awful lot of stupid people who think they're smart. I'm not sure I think that might be. Is that peculiar to this time? I don't know. There's a lot of people who think they're very smart because they think they've got access to all the best information, and they don't want to disseminate it. They think it makes them smart.
In that pre-First World War and in between the wars, you had a generation of people who were educated, had money, who were educated. They thought they were smart. They thought they were smarter than everybody else. So just because
we just got a lot more of them, Dave. Anybody with a phone and access to the internet and whatever streaming platform or information gathering tool you have, it seems to empower a lot of people to the point where they think they know a lot of stuff. And so knowing stuff or reading stuff or being exposed to stuff is not the same as being smart. And I think that is, again, wasn't around in 1910, don't know, wasn't around between the wars, don't know. But it seems like we're the same people, as Steve said. We're the same people. Humans we're just the same. We're just as dumb, just as smart. We're the same. As much as we think we're different, we're the same. It's funny when they talk about the different generations. Everybody's the same. You're all the same. But we just have bigger tools, faster tools, and almost more dangerous. And you've heard the quote, we've never been more connected, yet so far apart. Now we really see how far apart we really are. I don't know.
And we also have considerably smaller brains than the Homo sapiens of 100,000 years ago, who had larger.
I don't know about that. I don't know. I don't know. Really? I can't comment on that. I would be surprised by that.
I will send you a really interesting article regarding.
You're saying that modern man has smaller brains than Homo sapiens.
Yes. Yeah. They're the early Homo sapiens. Yeah.
I thought Homo sapiens was quite small.
But
they were small people, and we've gotten taller and bigger. I mean,
but our brain size has got smaller.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
Wait, here we go, guys. According to a BBC article, those communist bastards, modern human brains. Oh my God, this is terrible. According to a BBC article, modern human brains are about 13% smaller than those of the Homo sapiens that lived 100,000 years ago. However, a study by researchers at the University of Nevada, like I'm going to believe that one, and Liverpool, great, the monkeys or the beetles, found no changes in size in human brains in the last 30,000 years. The studies also found there's probably no reduction in brain size in modern humans over any period of origin of the species. Okay, so basically, for the last 70,000 years, we're just as stupid as whatever. This did come out of Las Vegas, Nevada. They're drinking.
It would appear that in our development, then, as the article goes further, it would appear that in our development, our ability to not literally see everything as a singular item, but be able to bundle ideas together, enabled us to function better and quicker with a smaller brain. But that's interesting. But you just think to yourself, our brain's getting smaller, like you say. I mean,
but size isn't everything, Dave.
Well, that is on this show, it would appear. But there you go.
My God!
Say the people with the small brains.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. We're more efficient, Dave. We've got more efficient brains now. That's what it is. We don't need all that extra brain. What do we need that for? We don't need that.
Well, I think we would probably be better served as a race if we had an extra hand, because that way you could permanently hold your.
What are we talking about now?
Your smartphone. And then, you're going to permanently hold your
what is that? Get away from me!
Smartphone.
Is it? Yeah. 3 hands.
No, or 4. I've been watching the.
Oh God! Okay.
Was it?
I think, folks, this is a different show. Different show.
Yeah.
4 hands.
I think he's getting into the spanking. This is like the movie Paul, where the alien chick had 3 boobs. I mean, this is where we're heading now. You need 4 hands. Why do you need 4 hands?
That was in Total Recall. Total Recall. Remember?
It was also in Paul. It was also in Paul. This is a very funny alien.
I remember that. Anyway.
Yeah, but it wasn't Total Recall. The girl had 3 breasts. Yeah. That's why David needs 4 hands. So
no, you have. I don't need 4. You need 3. Just one to put one to have your cell phone in, right, like that. I mean, all the time, the time, your cell phone.
Yeah.
And then you could just do the rest of the stuff with the 2 hands around. I mean, that's what evolution.
Terrible.
I know.
Yeah,
if evolution,
we're gonna. This is definitely getting banned in a lot of countries.
I tell you what, if evolution was listening to what we were doing as a society, it would issue us with an extra hand.
Pro tip, Dave: when you're talking about hands, you're gonna want to keep them in the picture.
Yeah, it would be good, David.
Your shoulders move, and inferences are drawn. Just
that's That's why he
Yes.
wants three hands. So he
I-
can have
I-
two on the
I
screen.
could-
and then
I'm,
one, you know.
I'm crap at art, so I couldn't draw anything. So
What the hell's going on?
I know, right?
Where?
You know what's going to
Wow.
be funny? 100,000
These are-
years from now, there'll be
I'll tell you a
humans will
joke,
have
tell you a
three
joke about
hands,
hands.
and
It's
they're going
very-
to play this. And they're going to play this video of David saying humans should have three hands, and they're going to go, David was the father of the three-handed
Thank you.
human.
Thank
Right.
you.
So,
It was
I'll
so
tell you-
amazing.
There's also a really famous, just digressing somewhat, a really famous Dutch telecom engineer, and he's
Yeah.
called Hans Free. His name is. He's very famous here.
I can't. I have nothing for that. Nothing at all.
it's if we do, we're just going to get ourselves thrown out of YouTube.
I can literally feel myself getting dumber just thinking about that.
Your
Hey,
brain-
13%. There's that 13%.
My brain
It
is
was just
doing that.
discussed.
That's why
can
I
I
get small
say?
brains.
What can I say? There you go. Give
Dad
me your
joke
hands. What can I
equals
say?
small
What can
brain.
I say?
Oh
I do.
my God.
They definitely do.
Three. I'm just trying to figure out how much sleep don't you get that you come up with that humans need three hands? I mean, like when you're laying there at night one night going,
No, I've been
I had
watching.
third hand.
I've been watching the Resident. Was it the Resident Alien or something on Netflix? Really
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, it's great fun. Alan.
Yeah,
God, what's his
written by the
name?
guy- was it Chris Sheldon or something? This guy wrote it, based on a book called a comic book. Very funny. We didn't think we
Alan,
were going
Alan, hang on. Alan, is it? I don't know how to say his name. It's Tudijk. Alan
to.
Tudijk.
Yeah, something like that. Was it called Resident Alien or something?
Resident Alien. What a fun show.
I'm
That's a great.
I have not.
That
I have
was
not
the-
seen Resident Alien. Let me see if it's
You
even
should
on
watch-
YouTube.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
But this is a whole other thing.
but yes, because he had four arms. That was just the thing that made me laugh. So I thought, well,
Okay.
three would be handy.
Well, these are enough
Oh,
for me
look,
because then I'd
There's a
need
show
another set
called
of eyes.
Resident Alien. I
Yeah.
know that. There's a show. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to
that's
watch
fun.
it now. I've just saved it
I'll
on
tell
my
you what,
list.
this
All
will-
right.
This will be a short, won't it, Rob? Because it's something that Stephen doesn't know. So it will definitely be a short. Yeah,
I didn't know there was a show.
I'll-
I mean,
I'll
I actually
that on
have. I have a life. That's probably why I didn't know there was a
Probably
show.
you read.
But
You read.
yeah, I read. I have a read.
Yeah,
I have a
read,
life. I actually
yeah.
do things.
I read.
Two hands are enough for you. Yeah.
I read
I
what's on
do too.
YouTube and then what's on Netflix.
Oh my
So
God.
Yeah.
I wonder if
I'm
13%.
just saying.
I wonder if the 13% is true, or is it really like more like 60? Thought our brains getting
I
smaller.
think some people
I'm
are
trying
small,
to-
but-
I'm trying to talk with my hands now.
Oh, this way. Where's
What?
it? He's over there.
What was that? Was that an attempt at a? I'm not sure what that was. I'm trying. What is that?
Or talk to my hands, you know. I like that. with
Are you
my
trying to be like
hands.
Arnold
Well, that
Schwarzenegger all of a
means-
sudden? What are you doing?
I think it was. Was that like a Dutch thing? There, you were trying to be Dutch. Was that
No,
Dutch?
I can't do a Dutch thing.
Okay. No, Arnold is like this. You're going to do Arnold, then you've got to do it properly. You know. Come on,
Yeah, but-
David. What are you
Well,
doing?
Get the hands out. Get the hands.
What
What's
are you
that called?
doing? Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Arnold
Can I give you a
Schwarzenegger.
hand? What was that from? Kindergarten Cop.
Can I give you a-
Remember that? Can I give you a hand? No, fun.
I thought that was the movie where he
Yeah,
dropped the
he's
guy
not
from the
a-
mall, when he had the guy dangling over the mall and he dropped him. He goes, "I give you a hand." No, I don't know. Big Arnold. We talked about Arnold the other day on the
thing
cigar
is, you
show
see, don't-
because it's
you know,
Arnold.
I have a life, so I don't have to go to the cinema. You know, I read books
Okay.
and stuff. You know.
Okay.
So,
Gentlemen, I have to go. I really have to go.
We know you do. We're just been
Okay.
waiting. We're just like killing time with you today. Listen.
for us, you've already gone, mate. I tell you something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
You're
wow.
not even here.
Mr. Vega, as always, it is a pleasure. And for you people in
An
South
absolute
Africa, we know you're fans. Tell them the radio station one more time so they can listen to you during the day.
Hot 1027. There you go. Don't
There you
see
go. Hot 1027. There you go. So if you want to listen to Mr. Vega, and you can only see him here once a week, feel free. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you for putting up with our nonsense today. We look forward to seeing you all next week. God knows what we're going to talk about. Probably David and his three hands. and we will go from there. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Tell your friends. We'll see you guys later. Cheers, everybody.
Somebody give me a
All right,
spade.
David, take us home.
Take myself out of
Let's
this.
get David
Well,
spanking.
if I cut my arms off, I'd be armless, wouldn't I? But there you go.
Here we go.